All
Well,
right.
welcome.
Absolutely.
Hi.
And if we're too loud or too quiet, you have control of the volume right there with that first little knob if you need to turn us up or down. So especially if that brass band starts playing again, that's a little difficult. So all right, go ahead. Why don't you want them to introduce themselves, or do you want to introduce them?
Yeah, you guys want to introduce yourselves really quick?
Absolutely. After you.
Hi, I'm Colleen Haugen. I am with GE Healthcare.
I'm James Linton. I'm with St. Clair College in the University of Windsor.
But you guys are here to talk about the Healthcare Technology Management Alliance, which is a community of AAMI, and you guys are the volunteers that have stepped up to lead this community.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what I thought I'd do, though, because this is a little interesting for some of our audience, because as you both know, we've restructured a little bit of our own internal organizational approach to how we work with volunteers, et cetera. And if you don't mind, I want to say just a few words about that for folks so they understand kind of what you two have agreed to step into, right? So as I think folks know, for AAMI is a volunteer-led organization. We're a staff of about 50, several hundred by the time you count contractors, extended, paid folks, et cetera. But we have 14,000 members. Our distribution, the number of people that we talk, that's members. The number of people that we talk to or that take our training, et cetera, a way to measure that is we just did a survey that we sent out to folks, a survey about AAMI and the things that we do. That went out to 105,000 people. And that list was vetted down. So it's 105,000 people that were either members, volunteers.
Or have contact with us.
Contact with us through our newsletters,
certification,
our training,
yeah.
Right, all those kinds of things. So it's a very, very large group of people across a very diverse set of industries: manufacturing, HTM, as you all focus on, sterilization, both in the manufacturing environment and in the hospital. So we've been really looking at ways to organize our work in a way that better leverages the scale of all of those people. And Danielle and I have been working that quite a bit on the HTM side. We've worked on, with our sterilization verticals, our industry verticals. And our goal was to create an environment, and we've been investing very heavily at AAMI in our support tools, document authoring, even our own events facility in Arlington, Virginia, our studio, our AAMI studio, which is one version of it, right here on the road. But we've been investing in this tool set, right? That's everything from face-to-face gatherings to virtual interactions, and document authoring, all those kinds of things. And then our goal is to bring those tools and resources together and put them in the hands of our stakeholders like you, right? And so the idea we've been talking about this, we want this to be a pull from the community, from you all, to say these are the things we need help accomplishing, and it's our job at AAMI to give you the right tools and resources and support to do those things. Now, all under the umbrella of AAMI, so there's a whole process that we go to, but that also provides structure, stability, all those kinds of things to the groups. But in the short run, in this very interesting kind of new approach, as Danielle was looking for folks, we had a couple of old committees.
Yes.
That were old because they've been around a while, not because of the people on them, but they had been around for a while, and we said, okay, one of the first things we're going to look at is how do we restructure this in HTM? How do we reorganize these groups and put them into the format I was just talking about, where they have the tools at their disposal? And you two were crazy enough to say, we'll be the volunteers to try this first.
I mean, in fairness, I didn't know there was over 100,000, so a little bit of pressure.
A little bit of pressure, yeah. We'll give you the first.
All HTM, if
we'll give you the first
103,000. Yeah, yes.
We'll give you that. No. Obviously, it's many verticals, many activities, et cetera, but you guys are definitely the tip of the spear on the HTM side for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's really great, right? Because this is going to be a way for you guys to help advise AAMI what the field needs. So why don't you guys talk a little bit about your vision, why you agreed to do this and work with us on this initiative, and how we're going to get it off the ground.
All right, so why, I guess, kind of certified. No, I'm not that crazy. But that being said, absolutely, it's seen as this tip of the spear, as you said. It's being that leading edge to help advise AAMI, and I thought, you know what? There's going to need some people who can step up and do this and dedicate that time. I'm always happy to do it. I know Colleen's always happy to do it. And we were just crazy enough to give it a try.
Yes, and we talk to people often. We listen to people often. They talk to us and tell us often of what they want to see. And just like the idea that we have up at our booth right behind Phillips, by the way.
Hey,
we
you
have-
don't look at the logos on the, I mean, there,
Yes, this
G's
booth is
all around
sponsored
us.
by GE
G's
Healthcare,
all around
yes.
us, all over the walls.
Yeah, so behind Phillips, we have our booth over there, and behind there, we have a whiteboard. And the idea of the whiteboard is, if anyone has seen the movie Acceptance, is you tell us what you want. What do you want from AAMI?
Right.
You know, tell us what you want. What is itching in the field? What would you like to see? What would you like us to create? And then we can take that back and, you know, discuss it as a group and see what is doable.
Right. Right.
And just to clarify, when you say your booth, you're talking about the HTMAA booth, not the
Yes.
GE Healthcare
Yes,
booth.
yes,
Right.
the
Just wanted to-
But I
HTMAA
just,
group.
since she's
Sorry.
got that GE
Yes.
healthcare
Oh, yes,
logo
yes.
there, I want to
But I
make
didn't
sure
want
we point
people
out
to
GE before Phillips.
Yes.
And then,
But I
not
didn't
that we
want-
don't love Phillips. we
want
love
people to be
Phillips.
confused because you guys will be sitting at the HTMAA booth.
Yes.
And people should stop by and learn about the HTMAA, how they can get involved. And if they, if you don't want to get involved, that's okay too. But we're always taking suggestions. And what we'll do is you guys are going to collect them all, right? And then we're going to sit down together, kind of filter through, look for redundant trends, perhaps, see what AAMI can and can't do, because obviously we can't do everything, and then bring it back to the committee and kind of strategize, right?
Yes.
Right. And one of the things you guys have maybe only seen a little bit, if at all. There's certainly been opportunities, but it will be completely, it is already in process and will be launched by the end of this fiscal year for us, which is September 30, a completely new website that is built around this whole concept of member-driven communities like you've created. So it'll be very interesting to see how, when we bring that online and the tools that are available there, how that supports what you want to do. And you're going to be looking for other leaders, right? It's not going to be the two of you doing it.
Forever.
We're not that crazy. No,
Yeah.
That's the thing is
We see
we're-
subgroups and subcommittees. And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we're happy to have people come up and just say, hey, I've got some ideas. I don't have time, but this would be really helpful and add to that wall, as Colleen said.
Yeah.
But also, once we get that, let's say we have 5, 10 great ideas. Look, I might have some time. I don't have that much time. And I may
Agreed.
not be the expert in that area. And so what we want is to have this idea of, instead of the old hierarchy type way of, these are the elected leaders who do A, B, C, and D, it's, hey, we're going to work on this. Who does this in the field? Who's the best?
Right.
And now
Yeah.
let's bring a group with them so that it's groupthink instead of just one person deciding
Right.
things.
And I'm
Very
really
open.
And
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because our old committee structures, you may have heard of the TMC, the HTLC, people were elected on, and we were rejecting really good people because we had these bylaws. We could only have X amount of people, only one person from each organization. And, with that, it was kind of limiting. And I think having a consolidated voice and putting everyone together, because I think when you put everyone together, the community can kind of work through it and figure it out, and it kind of resets itself. And all those projects, I am the HTM department at AAMI, for people that don't really realize that, So we really rely on volunteers like James and Colleen and our many other army of volunteers. We've put out a lot of work the past couple of years, and it's all because of our volunteers. And I just want to be clear, AAMI provides that infrastructure. So when people step up and want to volunteer, you may say, we want a guidance document or maybe a webinar. Like, we provide all the infrastructure, if it's the editing, the proofreading, the marketing, the facility, or the studio. So, it's really a great way to help the field give back, but really recognize the voice of the field at the same time. What do you think, Colleen?
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
do.
And I think it's important for folks that are listening that might want to get involved. The booth's behind the GE logo, behind the Phillips booth.
It's right by the
over there.
AAMI.
Is it
It's
in
the sales booth.
Association
Where
room?
where the
it's
AAMI
next to
sales
that.
booth. It's in
Okay.
the back over
Got it.
there. So if you're gonna go purchase a booth next year, stop by and talk to James and Colleen.
There you go.
Look
there
for
you
the
go.
table that is going to be piled with Legos.
Yes,
that's a
so-
good draw.
Yes, I brought Legos, so you
That's a
can
very
sit
good
down,
draw.
have a conversation with me, put together some Legos. Let's
It
have
stimulates creative thinking.
exactly.
So for folks that are going to come over and talk to you all, I think it is important that I want to just bring a little definition of what you were talking about, because people don't really know. What we're talking about is AAMI has a headquarters facility in Arlington, Virginia. We host global events in that facility.
Yes.
And if you become a part of the HTMAA, and it's the consensus of this group and AAMI that we need to have a meeting, guess what? You've already got a meeting space in Arlington, Virginia. waiting to host that meeting. If you need to conduct a series of webinars, if you want to conduct training, you already have a learning management system and
In
a
the
webinar
CEUs.
platform.
You get
You have
CEUs through us,
you
don't
can
need to
attach
pay for them.
CEUs to that. We've got an AAMI studio, much like this one in Arlington, Virginia, that if you have a great idea for a podcast or even a standalone video that you want to do, we can do that. Publishing, you mentioned editorial support,
Yes, we've
layout,
done a lot of guidance
graphics.
documents.
Yeah,
in
which
the
we got to
past.
get on a logo for them, by the way.
We do. We're
We'll
working
that.
on a logo.
All right,
we are.
good.
They're all
So our
gonna,
whole creative
yes.
department, right? That's what we're here to do, is to help facilitate the production of to turn these ideas that your community has into resources.
Into reality.
Yeah, into resources. And I think there's a tremendous demand, a tremendous need for resources. And what I'm hoping happens is you guys even come up with things that we might not have done in the past around just-in-time support tools or whatever it might be, the ability
data
to produce
collection.
things.
I mean,
Yeah.
our options are endless. And I think, there's another community out there, the HTM Association Collaborative. That's another example of a community that Ryan
Right.
Gonzalez does. And, they said, we want to do a monthly webinar series. So, Ryan is great. He finds the speakers, and each association finds a speaker each month. And we've done this webinar series. So now we're bringing education to areas of the country or world that don't have any. They're worth one CEU, and you're having constant education that way. So, those are just ideas of how we execute things through this community, because the associations came together and said, we want to do webinars, but we don't have the infrastructure to do that. So, but this HTMAA is so much more broad. And the only requirement, right, is that you need to be an AAMI member to participate. If you're going to be part of this, you need to also be part of the AAMI community to do this. So,
All right, well, anything we didn't think of to cover that you guys are excited about? Otherwise, we're going to make you go play with those Legos.
yes, and go meet people on
Go
the
meet
floor.
Sounds awful. I guess we'll have to try that.
Gosh.
and
Just
again,
remember that the Lego is not swag to be taken home, and we're good.
For
Are
sure.
people swiping your Legos?
Oh no.
Oh,
no,
don't
no.
allow that. No,
Definitely
no,
not.
don't
They're
allow
going home. They're going to be, my kids' toys here soon. So.
that. There you go. There
And-
you go.
Yeah, please come on by and give us some ideas. Feel free to join up. We're going to have a meeting, hopefully coming up soon, to sort of really launch this forward. And thank both of you and Amy for allowing us to do this. Without Amy,
We're honored.
we wouldn't have the resources, as you said. We wouldn't have the contacts. I wouldn't know anyone here.
But you do now know everyone here. I happen to know that myself from seeing
If
you.
I don't know them, they know my students at this point. So,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, and you brought a lot of students.
yes, you
this time.
did. Let's
Pretty
talk
big
about
group,
that really
right?
quick.
so I've got 20 students here.
Isn't that
Wow.
amazing?
20
All from Canada.
all from Canada, so about 5 minutes from Detroit in Windsor.
Okay.
We've got one student who's just graduating,
Okay.
and the other 19 have at least a year to go. And then I have another 2 alumni and another professor here with us. And yeah, they're all excited to be here, because in Canada we have the opposite problem as the U.S., where we've got more biomeds than jobs.
Oh, interesting.
And so we always tell them, if you want to work and you want to see what it's like down there, come to the exchange. So they actually they do all this themselves. So they started a club a couple years ago, and every year they fundraise every week selling.
Wow.
They sell cotton candy. They do books. And
That's amazing.
So they actually, I think each of them are getting between $300 and $700 per person to pay for their flight and their Airbnb while they're here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's so amazing. And we appreciate all your support of Amy. And on behalf of me and Robert, we are so appreciative. You guys just don't only do this. You're involved in standards. You do everything.
Yeah.
Certification. And we can't thank you guys enough, because, like we said, our army of volunteers, you all, are who execute this and make it come to life. And we can't do it without you, your ideas, your expertise. So we're just so appreciative of the two of you and all that you do.
Yeah.
And Colleen is getting inducted as a fellow this weekend as
What do you
well.
think about that? Exciting.
Congratulations.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very good. And we wanted to thank GE Healthcare. We were
Yes.
talking about all the logos all around us.
Gosh, yes.
Now, when you're on camera and looking at them, they're backwards, but they look great from outside. Everyone sees them outside. And you guys have sponsored this for
As long as we've been doing it, right?
3-4 years at least.
least 3
right?
years.
Since we brought it into.
Since
we
we
did
brought it-
Rewired. No, they actually sponsored
Rewired
even,
as
the
well.
very first one
Yeah.
post-COVID when we did that one in the Arlington office.
Yeah.
So, wow. So thank you for that. It's been fantastic, and people seem to really enjoy this, whether they're here and they watch it and decide to go do something different or more than they might have done, or folks that can't make it at all. So thank you for supporting it. Really
Yes.
appreciate it. And we will let you go build some Legos.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
so
very much for having us.
We
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank
Thank
you.
you.